For big names heading to Old Trafford? The summer that could change everything. Remember when we used to get excited about transfer windows? Well, get ready to feel that buzz again. Manchester United are about to make some serious moves this summer, and we're not talking about 1 or 2 signings. We're talking about 4 potential game changers that could turn our season around. The names being thrown around are huge. Matheus Cunha from Wolves, Victor Gyökeres from Sporting, Marc Guéhi from Crystal Palace, and Gregor Kobel from Borussia Dortmund. Each one of these players could walk straight into our starting 11. But can we really get all 4? Let's break down what we know about each target and figure out which deals are most likely to happen. Trust me, by the end of this, you'll be as excited as I am about what's coming. Why United need this summer to work. Before we dive into the players, let's be honest about where we are right now. This season has been tough to watch. We've had moments of brilliance, sure, but we've also had games where we looked completely lost. Sound familiar? Ruben Amorim walked into a mess when he took over. The good news is that he knows exactly what needs fixing. The better news is that the club seems ready to back him with serious money. That's where these 4 players come in. Each one fills a gap in our squad. We need goals up front, we need someone who can defend properly at the back, and we need a keeper we can trust week in and week out. These signings could give us all of that. But here's the question everyone's asking. Can we actually afford all 4 players? And more importantly, do we need all 4? Matheus Cunha, the player everyone wants. Let's start with the most recent rumor. Matheus Cunha has been lighting up the Premier League with Wolves this season. 17 goals and 6 assists is no joke, especially when you're playing for a team that's been struggling. What makes Cunha special? It's his ability to play anywhere across the front line. Need a striker? He can do that. Want someone on the wing? No problem. Need creativity in the middle? He's your man. The best part about this potential signing is that Cunha apparently loves Manchester United. In a world where players chase money or trophies, finding someone who actually wants to wear our shirt is rare. That kind of passion could be exactly what we need in the dressing room. His release clause is set at £65 million. That's a lot of money, but for a player entering his prime years who's already proven himself in the Premier League, it might be worth every penny. Think about it this way. How many times have we signed players who needed time to adapt to English football? With Cunha, there's no adjustment period. He knows the league, he knows the physicality, and he's already scoring goals against the same defenders our other targets would face. The big question is, would Cunha be happy to share attacking duties with other new signings? Or is he expecting to be the main man up front? Victor Gyökeres, the goal machine Amorim knows. Here's where things get really interesting. Victor Gyökeres isn't just any striker. He's been playing under Ruben Amorim at Sporting CP. Our new manager knows exactly what this player can do. The numbers speak for themselves. 43 goals in 50 games this season. Let that sink in for a moment. When was the last time we had a striker with that kind of record? You'd have to go back to the days of Van Persie or Rooney to find numbers like that. Gyökeres brings something different to our attack. He's physical, he's fast, and he knows how to finish. But more importantly, he already understands Amorim's system. While other new signings would need months to adapt, Gyökeres could hit the ground running from day one. The Swedish striker is 25 years old, which means he's entering the best years of his career. If we sign him now, we could have 5 to 6 years of prime Gyökeres leading our attack. But here's the tricky part. If we sign both Cunha and Gyökeres, how do they fit together? Amorim typically plays with one main striker and 2 supporting forwards. Could Cunha drop deeper to create space for Gyökeres? Or would one of them have to settle for a rotation role? This is the kind of problem every manager wants to have, but it's still a problem that needs solving. Marc Guéhi, the defense leader we've been missing. Let's talk about our defense for a minute. How many times this season have you watched us concede a goal and thought we need better center backs? If you're like most United fans, the answer is probably too many times to count. Marc Guéhi could be the answer to our defensive problems. At just 23 years old, he's already one of the most reliable center backs in the Premier League. He's strong, he's quick, and he's comfortable with the ball at his feet. That last point is crucial for Amorim's system. Our new manager likes his defenders to start attacks from the back. Having a center-back who can pick out a pass or carry the ball forward makes a huge difference to how we play. Guehi has also become a regular for England, which tells you everything you need to know about his quality. When Gareth Southgate picks you for big tournaments, you must be doing something right. Crystal Palace won't let him go cheaply. They're talking about £65 million, which is a lot for a defender. But think about it this way. How much would it cost us to miss out on Champions League football again because our defense isn't good enough? A quality center-back can make everyone around him better. Guehi could be the leader our defense has been missing since the days of Rio Ferdinand and Nemanja Vidic. The question is, would Guehi be interested in joining United right now? We're not exactly in the Champions League, and other big clubs are probably interested too. What can we offer that they can't? Gregor Kobel, the goalkeeper question. This one's a bit confusing, isn't it? We bought Andre Onana just last summer, and now we're being linked with another goalkeeper. What's going on? Gregor Kobel has been brilliant for Borussia Dortmund. He's the kind of keeper who makes difficult saves look easy and rarely makes mistakes. At 26 years old, he's entering his prime years and could be our number one for the next decade. But here's the big question. What does this mean for Onana? Are we already giving up on him after one season? Or are we looking for competition to push him to improve? Competition can be a good thing. Having two quality goalkeepers means neither can get comfortable. It also means we're covered if one gets injured or loses form. The downside is the cost. Dortmund would want at least £50 million for their first-choice keeper. That's a lot of money to spend on a position where we already have a player we paid £50 million for just last year. Maybe this rumor is just Kobel's agent trying to get him a better contract at Dortmund. Or maybe United are serious about upgrading every position, even ones where we thought we were sorted. What do you think? Should we stick with Onana and spend the money elsewhere? Or would Kobel be such an upgrade that it's worth the investment? How would they all fit together? Let's imagine for a moment that we actually sign all four players. How would they fit into Amorim's team? The manager likes to play 3-4-3 with 3 center-backs, wing-backs who push forward, and 3 attackers who can interchange positions. Here's how our new signings might fit. Kobel would be our goalkeeper, obviously. His distribution is excellent, which would help us build attacks from the back. Guehi would be one of the 3 center-backs, probably in the middle where his leadership and passing range would be most useful. Up front, Gyökeres would be our main striker, with Cunha playing off him or out wide. Both players are mobile enough to switch positions during games, which would make us much harder to defend against. The beauty of this system is that it gives us so many options. If we need more creativity, Cunha can drop deeper. If we need more pace, Gyökeres can run the channels. If we need to defend a lead, both players are willing to track back and help out. But let's be realistic for a moment. Signing all 4 players would cost well over £200 million. That's Champions League winner money, and we're not even in the Champions League right now. The money question. Here's where things get complicated. We all want United to sign the best players, but we also have to follow financial fair play rules. We can't just spend whatever we want without selling players too. Recent rumors suggest that players like Marcus Rashford and Antony could be sold this summer. If that happens, it would free up wages and bring in transfer fees that could fund these new signings. The question is, are we prepared to lose some of our current players to make room for new ones? Change can be difficult, especially when it involves players we've supported for years. But sometimes change is necessary. If selling a few players who aren't performing allows us to bring in for who could transform our team, isn't that worth considering? The more realistic scenario is probably that we sign 2 or 3 of these targets rather than all 4. But even that would represent a massive improvement to our squad. What this says about our new direction. Looking at these 4 potential signings, you can see a clear pattern in what Amorim and the club are looking for. First, they want players who are entering their prime years. All 4 targets are between 23 and 26, which means they could be key players for us for many years to come. Second, they want quality over quantity. These aren't cheap punts on unknown players. These are proven performers who could improve our team immediately. Third, they want players who fit the system. Each of these four would suit Amarim's style of play perfectly. This feels different from transfer windows in recent years, where we sometimes seem to sign players just because they were available or because other clubs wanted them. This time, there seems to be a clear plan. Which deals are most likely? Let's be honest about which of these transfers are most likely to happen. Cunha feels like the most realistic option. His release clause makes the financial side straightforward, and his reported love for United suggests he'd jump at the chance to join us. If we only sign one of these four, it'll probably be him. Gyökeres is interesting because of the Amarim connection, but he'd also be expensive and might prefer to stay at Sporting for another year if they're playing Champions League football. Guehi makes a lot of sense from a football perspective, but Crystal Palace will ask for top dollar and other clubs are interested too. This one could come down to whether he prefers United over other options. Kobel feels like the least likely, simply because we already have Onana and spending big money on another goalkeeper might not be the best use of our budget. What do you think? Which of these signings would you prioritize if you were making the decisions? The timeline for getting deals done. One thing that's encouraging about these rumors is how early they're appearing. Usually, United leave everything until late in the summer and end up panicking to get deals done before the deadline. Getting business done early has several advantages. New players get more time to settle in during preseason. The manager gets more time to work with his preferred team. And it sends a message to other potential targets that we mean business. The presence of release clauses for some of these players could speed things up too. Instead of lengthy negotiations over fees, we could move straight to agreeing personal terms and getting medical checks done. If United are serious about backing Amarim, we should see at least one of these deals announced within the next few weeks. What about other positions? While these four signings would strengthen key areas of our team, there are other positions that might need attention too. What about central midfield? Do we need another right back? Are we happy with our current options on the left wing? Maybe United are focusing on getting these major signings done first before turning attention to smaller gaps in the squad. Or maybe Amarim thinks the current squad could work better with the right players around them. Either way, addressing the goalkeeper, defense, and attack positions would give us a strong foundation to build on. Sometimes it's better to fix the big problems first and worry about the details later. Fan reactions and expectations. The response from United fans to these rumors has been mostly positive. After years of disappointing signings and poor performances, supporters are excited about the possibility of signing four quality players who could make an immediate impact. Of course, some fans are worried about the cost and whether we can afford all four players without breaking financial fair play rules. Others are questioning whether we need a new goalkeeper when we spent big money on Onana just last year. But overall, there's a sense of optimism that's been missing for a while. These are the kind of signings that could get fans excited about the new season and fill Old Trafford with hope again. The key will be managing expectations. Even if we sign all four players, it might take time for them to gel as a team. But having quality players competing for places can only be a good thing. What happens next? The next few weeks will tell us a lot about how serious United are about these potential signings. If the rumors keep growing and more reliable sources start reporting interest, we'll know the club is genuinely working on deals. Keep an eye on which players get called up for international duty this summer. Sometimes transfer moves get delayed because players are busy with their countries, but it can also be when deals get finalized away from the spotlight. Preseason will be crucial too. If any of these players join us, that's when we'll get our first real look at how they fit into Amarim's system and whether they can handle the pressure of playing for Manchester United. The bottom line, Manchester United stand at a crossroads. We can continue with the same players and hope for different results, or we can make bold moves to bring in quality reinforcements who could transform our fortunes. In Cunha, Gyökeres, Guehi, and Kobel, we'd be getting four players who could walk into most Premier League teams. Each brings something different, but all would improve our squad significantly. The financial reality means we probably won't sign all four, but even bringing in two or three would represent a major statement of intent. After years of mediocrity, United fans deserve to see their club acting like the big club it's supposed to be. These rumors give us hope that better days are coming. Whether all four deals happen or just one or two, the fact that we're being linked with quality players shows that United are starting to think like winners again. What's your take on these potential signings? Which player would you most like to see at Old Trafford next season? And do you think United have learned from past transfer mistakes to get these deals right? The summer transfer window is going to be fascinating. For the first time in years, United fans have genuine reasons to be excited about what's coming next. Let's hope the club doesn't let us down.